Hey everybody, it's Kory coming to you from Joe Biden's basement. That's right, it does exist. We're going to look at the stats for October 2022 at the end of this video, like we always do every month. We're going to break out the single family homes and the rural properties and look at what the market's doing now. What I want to talk about right now is what the market's going to do going forward, because that's a question I get almost every day. Kory, where is the market going? So I always reply to that question with a question, and I ask, it depends on what lens you're looking through. What lens are you looking through? And they go, what are you talking about? I said, well, if you're looking through a long-term lens, real estate is the way to go. As you can see in this chart right here from the St. Louis Fed, the price of real estate always goes up. There are peaks and valleys, but the trend is to always go up. Just ask your grandparents what they paid for their house. Ask your parents what they paid for their house. The price of real estate goes up. In fact, there is no greater wealth builder in the history of the world than real estate. So if you're going to be bullish on anything, it's real estate. And I am. But if you're looking through a short-term lens, I'm bearish. I see a lot of trouble ahead. But there's just so many threats out there, you guys, right now for the real estate market. You've got global pressures, wars and rumors of wars. You've got local domestic problems. We've got energy prices. They're talking about a deficiency in diesel fuel and heating fuel. We've got a midterm election coming up. When that midterm election is over, the media is going to turn rank, and it is going to light a fire under the population here by calling the economy what it is. And the economy right now is a wreck. But they haven't been calling it that, hoping that they can get the Democrats over the line for the midterms. Once that's done, they're going to open the cellar doors, and all the witches are going to come out as far as this economy. And it's going to put pressure on the real estate market. I want to draw your attention to this chart here. I made this chart so that you have some numbers to work through in your head. I titled it Price from Peak by Percentage Rate. And you can see here this is the median price of homes for the Coeur d'Alene region. And the price peak for us in our market was April of this year. And the median price home was $596,000 with a mortgage rate of around 5%. Once mortgage rates went over 5% in April, with that median price, people said enough is enough. And if I could just take you to a mortgage calculator real quick. At that time, April 2022, when the market peaked with $596,000 median price, with a 5% interest rate on your mortgage, 20% down, you would have, on a 30-year fixed, been pulling a loan out of just about $2,500 a month. So that's the number that we need to focus on when we go forward, because that's where that tipping point was for the market. When it hit $2,500 a month before taxes and insurance, people said, I can't afford this anymore. And granted, yes, I know, most people cannot afford a $2,500 a month payment, but that's what the threshold was here in Coeur d'Alene. Most people were stretching that far in order to purchase prices, but once we went over 5% at that price, people were done. So again, I'm looking at that $2,500 a month mortgage loan as the barometer for which you'll see people come back into the market. Right now, your prices, with the price that we're seeing and an interest rate at 7%, that monthly loan amount's just over $2,800 a month. So it's $300 a month more to buy a house now than it was in April here in the Coeur d'Alene area. And we need to see that monthly loan amount of $2,500 and under to see people come back into the market. And again, I made this chart for you guys so that you can see what it actually means to have a 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50% drop from that all-time high. We call that peak to trough. I want you to have a reference point, and you can see in this chart right here, this was the peak to trough from the last Great Recession that we had. And again, here in Coeur d'Alene, in the North Idaho area, it was from 2007 to 2011. And it was those 5 years cumulative that had a total of 32% drop from peak to trough. And that's how the market measures a recession, is from the peak price to the trough or the bottom lows. And there was a 32% drop during the Great Recession. Now, what can we expect going forward in our market? Again, April being the high point, let's say that we had a 10% drop, put us at $536,400, and that would be the price that we saw in February of 2022. How about a 20% drop? That would put us at 476, 800,000, and that's the price that we saw in April of 2021. A 30% drop off that all-time high would put us at 417,200 for the median priced home, and that is the price of a home in February of 2021. And let's stop there at 30%. Remember, the last Great Recession here in North Idaho was 32%. And for us to go below that, it's going to have to be something greater than the last Great Recession, and that's possible. But let's continue our role play here. Let's say we lost 40% off of our all-time high in April. That would make the median price here in the Coeur d'Alene area $357,600. Well, that's what the prices were in June of 2020. And if you remember, due to the pandemic, there was a lot of people coming here looking for liberty, fleeing the big cities, and they bought homes at an unprecedented rate, and that was the prices that they were paying back in 2020. $357,600 for a median priced home. If we lost 50% of the value in our homes, lost half the value, that would put a median price home here at $300,000, $298,000, and we last saw those prices in March of 2019. So what's the point of this? The point is this. So many people just throw out numbers and they throw out the word crash and they don't conceptualize in hard data what that means. You guys, a 50% drop in this market brings us back to 2019 levels of prices. The floor for real estate here is not going to go back to what it was like a lot of people think. And let me just touch on that. I am very bullish on the real estate market here in Coeur d'Alene. I moved here. I live here. I know why people are moving here. The bottom line is people are coming here because it's a conservative culture. It is safe, it is clean, it has good schools, it has an outstanding outdoor lifestyle. There's a lot of good things going for it. Oh, and we have water. So as you factor in all those things, we're always going to be a market that draws a lot of buyers. But if it's unaffordable, like it is now, people don't buy. And as soon as it becomes affordable again, you're going to have people come back into the market. So I'm bullish on that. And that trigger point I'm looking for is that $2,500 a month mortgage payment. The rule is for every interest rate increase of 1%, the buyer loses 10% of their purchasing power. 1% interest rate, buyer loses 10% buying power. If we go back to April 2022, where the median price was $596,000 with an interest rate of 5%, we're going to use that as our basis. Remember, that's our threshold of $2,500 a month on a 30-year loan. If interest rates go up 2% from there, which is 7%, we need to see a 20% drop in price from that all-time high in April to get to that $2,500 a month payment. But going forward, with these interest rates being high, I foresee prices to come down. And they have to come down 20% at a 7% interest rate. Now, let's say interest rates go up 8%. We got to come down 30%. If interest rates go up to 9%, we've got to come down 40%. If interest rates go up to 10%, we've got to see the prices of homes come 50% off of their all-time high in order for the majority of people to jump back in the market with that $2,500 a month mortgage payment. No one can understand or predict what the Fed's going to do right now. We're currently looking at a potential 8% interest rate by the end of the year. And if that's the case, we're probably going to need to see prices come down 30% off of their all-time high in order for the majority of people to come back into the market. So it's going to be an interesting time. In the end, we're going to see prices sometime, somewhere go back up. People are always going to want to come here. You just got to ride out the bumps. I think all of our asset classes are going to go through some bumps. Let's take a look at the October 2022 stats for both the single family and rural properties. Let's get into it.